Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. We talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm Ernest Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. The Iron Bowl. It's not going to be as highly anticipated as the game between Michigan and Ohio State, and it shouldn't because that game is definitely well-deserved of all the hype that it's getting, but Alabama traveling to the Auburn Tigers is still going to be a good matchup this year, and it does have some big implications. Alabama has to win this game if they want to have a shot to make the college football playoff, because if they win this game, they will be 11-1, and if they can beat Georgia in the SEC championship game to get to 12 wins, that might be enough to get them into the playoff, whereas the Auburn Tigers, they want to play spoiler, and they suffered a really bad loss last week to the New Mexico State Aggies. Before that game, I feel like a lot of people thought that this Auburn season was considered a success. They were 6-4, should have been 7-4 coming into this game, and even if they did not beat Alabama and they went 7-5 in Hugh Freeze first season, most people probably would have said it was a success. But now, if they do lose to Alabama, they will be 6-6. So I'm sure Hugh Freeze is going to have his guys playing at a high level to possibly try to knock off the Alabama Crimson Tide in this big rivalry and spoil the Crimson Tide's playoff chances. But Auburn's passing attack isn't the best. They've struggled with it all season. So me and Will and D, we preview and predict whether we think that Alabama will stay alive in the college football playoff race and knock off their arch rival in the Auburn Tigers in Jordan-Hare Stadium, or whether we believe that Auburn has any shot to upset the Alabama Crimson Tide after that tough loss they suffered to the New Mexico State Aggies.
Iron Bowl time.
Alabama and Auburn. These games are always close, usually. There's been a couple games where Alabama's just destroyed them, but for the most part, they're pretty close. I would have had a lot more faith in a possible upset or being a really close game if Auburn didn't blow it last week. What were you doing, Auburn? Looking ahead. Again, how can you possibly be looking ahead to Alabama? You're playing New Mexico State, for crying out loud. You got to win that game. But Alabama, Jalen Milroe, after the Texas game, they've been running better plays for him. He's running the football really well. He's throwing the ball much better because of his ability to use his legs, which opens up the passing attack in the passing game. Alabama's been running the ball fairly competently this year. Alabama's defense, arguably, their defense has been better this year than it has been in probably 2 or 3 years. Hasn't been this good in a while. When Bryce Young was at Alabama, their defense was worse. If Alabama had this defense now with Bryce Young, they probably would have made the playoff. But I think that Auburn, because of the fact that it is their rival, Alabama, they're already bowl eligible, which helps their case. But they have nothing, to lose. I think they're going to throw out all the stops against Alabama. They're going to play a lot better than they did against New Mexico State last week. That's for sure. But Auburn, what's going to prevent them, to me, from winning is the fact that they don't have a passing attack. They have to run the ball more than they pass, and Alabama's just going to shut that down eventually. Once they realize that all Auburn really does is run the ball, they'll figure it out, shut it down. If Auburn had a passing attack and they didn't lose last week, then I, again, would consider picking them to win. But I'm going to go with Alabama to win at Auburn, 34-20. I think that Auburn will try to keep it close, but Nick Saban, he knows what's on the line for Alabama. They got to get to the SEC championship game to knock off Georgia to try to make the playoff. And I don't think he's going to let the Iron Bowl stand in their way. And I don't think Auburn's a good enough team this year in the way that they cannot pass the ball to be able to knock off Alabama. I'm going to go with the Crimson Tide.
Somehow, when this game's at Jordan-Hare, it's always close.
Mm-hmm.
How is it going to be close with Auburn's offense? I don't know.
You never know. I mean, like I said, in rivalries, you throw out the records, and it's usually close. But that passing attack, they can't pass the ball.
I'll go 35-10, Bama.
Going with the blood. I was even kinder to Auburn. I'd have been fairly close. 35-10, that would really help out Alabama's case in trying to build, a resume if they could beat Georgia for the playoff. But that would be a bad blow for Auburn in the season.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Comment down below whether you think that the Alabama Crimson Tide can move to 11-1 in the regular season and still have a shot to make the college football playoff if they can get the big win in the Iron Bowl over Auburn, or whether you believe that Auburn can play spoiler and bounce back from the tough loss they suffered last week and be able to beat Alabama to move to 7-5 on the year, so this first season of Hugh Freeze at the helm as the head coach of Auburn can be considered a success, and what you think about me and Will and D's pick for the 2023 Iron Bowl matchup. Follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description, and I'll see you next time.